If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs. A lot of this set comes from Venthyr. Let's go over it. Treacherous Shoulder Pads Ulduar is the place. XT002 Deconstructor, 8% on the drop rate. That's part of the rogue tier, but recolored for the other leather wearers. The chest, Korthia, Venthyr campaign, rep and renown to get the Radiant Court vestments. We're also going to pull the belt as well as the legs from that same set, from that same source. So that's the Venthyr campaign. Keep in mind, as long as you're renown 80 on the Venthyr, you can mod this regardless of what covenant you are playing. As I said earlier, legs, Radiant Court leggings, part of that set from the Venthyr campaign. Next up, we have a Blood Elf who's showing the Lorthian gloves. I believe that's the way you say it. Eye of Ajara, Bitter Brine Scavengers, or the Auction House for those gloves. They look like bracers, but they're actually gloves. Feet, Oppressors, Merciless Treads, Hellfire Citadel, Tyrant Velhari, 18% on the drop rate for those. Next up, we're going to hook you up with the back, which is the Radiant Court Cape, Korthia, Venthyr campaign, rep and renown, so you can add that to that Venthyr set. And the headpiece, Dread Leather Mask, Legion level leatherworking, super easy get there. The weapon, Uldir LFR version from, of course, BFA. Tell you right now, this is an Alliance only set, largely as a result of the chest, legs, and the boots. The shoulders you can get, Horde doesn't matter, Blackwing Descent, Golem Sentry, or you can buy that on the Auction House. That, of course, is from Cata. The chest, Dread Aspirant's Leather Tunic, BFA PvP Vendor, Marks of Honor. To get that tunic, keep in mind that's Alliance only. Why do I show Alliance stuff on the Horde? Good question. The reason, folks, you could easily come up with ideas for this. You might see this set and have an idea that snaps and lightning strikes, and you decide, hey, I got an idea. And that's the whole reason why. But I love this set, even though it might not fit the class fantasy perfectly, but it really ties in epically. The bracers, Pure Sight Wraps, Korthia, Night Fae campaign, rep and renown for the bracers. Now doing a spin to show the cloak, which looks really epic there. The feet are the Dread Aspirant's leather boots. Once again, that's an Alliance only piece, Marks of Honor. To get that of course from PFA or BFA. I was going to say PFA. It came out PFA, but it meant BFA. Anyway, the back, Iron Thread Great Cloak, Hellfire Citadel, Iron Reaver, 17% on that drop rate. The headpiece, Dread Aspirant's Leather Helm, BFA PvP Vendor, Marks of Honor. Once again, Alliance only on that. And the weapon, bring you old school Burning Crusade to get the sword. I use this set for monks, but it also works for demon hunters, especially if you love the color green. Hellfire Citadel Mythic for the shoulders. That's a recolor from the Druid Mythic set from WoD. Moving on to the chest, which is Vestments of Fall's Promise, Korthia, Night Fae campaign, rep and renown. In order to get that chest piece, of course, from Shadowlands. Next up, we have the belt. This is your typical Demon Hunter belt. Nighthold Heroic, the Demon Within drops it at a 17% drop rate. Now we're moving on to the legs, which really work perfectly with this set. Vicious Wormhide legs, Cata level leatherworking. Check your local leatherworker or your local auction house for those legs. Now we're going to move on to the boots and a Blood Elf, and they are actually the grips first. The hands, Grips of Silent Screams, Emerald Nightmare Heroic, Corrupted Gate Warden drops that. So that's pretty cool looking hand set. That's from the Monk tier, recolored also for Demon Hunters and other leather wearers. The feet, Hellfire Citadel regular mode to get those boots. Now for the back, we're looking at Marilith's Assistance Drape, which is Necrolord campaign from Korthia. And the headpiece, Hellfire Citadel Heroic, Shadowlord Iskar, 17% drop rate. Tragic story there on Mr. Ishkar. And the weapon, love that weapon, Hellfire Citadel Mythic. A little bit of Shadowlands, a little bit of WoD, I do believe, for this set. We're starting off with the shoulders. This is mostly PvP stuff. Orbos, Shadowlands PvP Vendor, Conquest Points, eventually Marks of Honor. The chest is Shadowmoon Valley or Frostfire Ridge, various mobs, or the auction house for the Cold Snout Jerkin. There are a lot of lookalikes of that, so you can check Wowhead there. The belt, Grievous Gladiator's Waistguard of Accuracy, Mop PvP vendor, Marks of Honor, in order to get that from your local Mist of Pandaria PvP vendor. Now the legs are part of the same drop set as the chest, Shadowmoon Valley, Frostfire Ridge, various mobs, or you can purchase it on the auction house. Once again, a lot of lookalikes from WoD there, so check Wowhead. The bracers, Unchained Gladiator's Leather Wrist Wraps, Oribos, Shadowlands, PvP vendor, Conquest Points, eventually Marks of Honor, and the feet we're pulling from Hellfire Citadel, Oppressor's Merciless Thread. I like those boots that you get out of Hellfire Citadel on the leather side. Decent drop rate. And the back, Frontline Necromancer's Drape. Love that purple drape from the Necrolords. Korthia is the place. Headpiece, part of the same tier set as the shoulders and the bracers. Current Shadowlands Conquest Points. And the weapon, which really is epic looking. Magister's Terrace is the place. Shown a little bit of love to the Kyrian for the chest as well as the legs, but the shoulders here, Antares the Burning Throne, LFR, is the version that's recolor from the Monk tier. And the chest, as we said, Korthia, Kyrian Campaign, Rep and Renown, in order to get that chest from, of course, Shadowlands. And now we're going to go to Legion in order to get this belt from the Cathedral of Eternal Night, the Cerulean Shadowfade belt. Decent drop rate on that belt. Yeah, this definitely works from a class fantasy for Demon Hunters. The legs, Fellsworn, Aspirin's Vestments, Korthia, Kyrian Campaign, Rep and Renown. Keep in mind that you could be Night Fae or Venthyr or even Necrolord. As long as you have Renown 80 on the Night Fae, basically you can mod this set regardless of your Covenant. The hands, as you can see, work really well with this set as well. The feet, Nyalotha, Fury of N'Zoth, 12% drop rate for those boots. Next up, we're going to hook you up with the back, which is Forsworn Aspirant Drape, Korthia, Kyrian Campaign, Rep and Renown for that. Headpiece, goggles, which are from Engineering, a WoD level. Check your local engineer or your local auction house. And now the weapon is Invasion Points, difficult to get, but worth the effort with a sword. Yeah, it might not look Demon Hunter-like, but Demon Hunters are kind of pressed for xmog, so we're going with the shoulders from Firelands Heroic. Balrog is the boss, 22% on the drop rate for the shoulders. The chest is Korthia, Night Fae Campaign, Rep and Renown to get the Vestments of the Twilight Grove. Moving on to the belt, we're also going to stick with the Night Fae Campaign and Arden Wheel to get the Night Courtier's belt. Of course, that is from Shadowlands, last 2 paces from Shadowlands. And we're going to stick with Shadowlands and the Night Fae for the Night Courtier's Bridges, part of the same tier as the belt. We're looking at cost, Rep and Renown in order to pick that up. Moving on to the hands and a Blood Elf Demon Hunter. I wonder if they're ever going to open up Demon Hunters to the other races. Probably not, but you never know. The feet here, Vicious Gladiator's Boots of Cruelty, Cata PvP vendor, Marks of Honor, in order to get those boots, which work really well with this particular set. Moving on to the back, which is the Dark Leather Cloak, vanilla level leatherworking. Check your local leatherworker, check your local auction house. And if you take out the weapon, you could mod this for your other leather classes, by the way. So yeah, big representation of the Night Fae, and the weapon, which really works well with this set, the Veiled Market, is the place to get the sword. My name is Luxeley. Want to thank everybody for stopping by and leave you with one final thought. Whatever it is by you, whether it's morning, afternoon like it is here, or night, make your day epic. Thank you for watching.